Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. It's Monday. We made it through another week, and there's going to be another one of doing exactly the same thing we did last week. So, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all feeling good and amazing and just loving life at the moment. So, for those of you who are new to my channel or you never really join me here on Mondays, maybe you're a bit apprehensive, a little bit scared, I tell you ghost stories that you guys send me on Mondays, and we do a look that's kind of based on a kind of ghost. So you can send your weird stories, creepy stories. Maybe you have a weird stalker. Maybe your mum's a bit weird. Maybe just something weird happened. You can send your stories to this email address right here. Thank you to everyone who has sent them to me so far. I am making my way through. So I don't usually focus a video like this around one brand, but I did want to focus on this that Sigma sent me. This is the cor-de-rosa collection, and it has an eyeshadow palette, a liquid lipstick, and then 3 glosses. And I saw the eyeshadow palette and I was like, I'm gonna use it. So this is a palette here. It is incredibly beautiful. You can see my fingerprints in there. Yes, I've had a smush. So what I thought we would do today is create a look, because there's like roses here. I'm thinking like English rose, like Pinky, someone who was obsessed with her rose garden back in the 1800s, and she ate too many roses and died as it was. I'm sure you guys can come up with a much more complex way of how someone dies from roses, but that's our theme, a rose death, which is very common nowadays. So yes, let's do that. I am an affiliate with Sigma. I'll leave the links below. The code is Robert10 for 10% off. This isn't a sponsored video, however, this PR package was gifted to me. There will be affiliate links below. I just want to make that clear, and I will mark those as well as all the other products I use. Stay, there may be affiliate links. That's pretty much it. Let's get into it. I've already primed my skin and I've primed my lids, so we can just go straight in with this palette. I'm so excited to use it. Okay then, let's just get into our first story. This is called The Bowing Man. Do I want to read this? Okay, so one night I woke up and faced my alarm clock, which shows the time and glows in red digits. It was around 3 a.m. If you ever wake up at 3 a.m., sorry to interrupt the story, if you ever wake up at 3 a.m., just go back to sleep. Just try and fall asleep straight away. After seeing the time, my eyes went straight to the end of my bed. I have a wooden headboard, and the end board, whatever it's called, I know what you mean. I saw a man around the age of 40 staring right into my eyes. He definitely wasn't standing, as he was only less than a meter above the wooden end of my bed. I just got shivers. It looked like he was on his knees, even though I couldn't see because of the wood. He kept staring at me, and I stared back in complete horror. He then slightly bowed down whilst maintaining eye contact with me the entire time. He probably bowed down around 3 times. On the third go, I grabbed my blanket and hid my face. I lay there for at least a minute or two with adrenaline pumping through my whole body. I got out and ran and slapped the wall desperately, trying to switch the light on. Everything about this man was so detailed. I remember seeing his eyes and eyelashes being so defined, exactly like a lead pencil drawing. I had to sleep with the lamp on for the next 3 months. I would too. My God, can you imagine just seeing, it's bad enough seeing like a whole figure standing by the end of your bed, but somebody just like this, like bowing at you the whole time. My God. I don't know about sleeping with a lamp on for the next, I wouldn't sleep for the next 3 months. That would terrify me. Thank you so much for your story. That gave me chills. That was amazing. Thank you. Our next story is called Family in Denial. So it says, I absolutely love your channel, and when I saw that you were reading ghost stories while doing makeup, I knew I had to tell you about my experience. Thank you so much for sending it. When I was about 9, me and my family drove up to Rhode Island for a family reunion. We stayed in an old house, which was huge with 3 levels. The children had to stay on the first level, and I was upset because I had to stay in the room with my crazy cousin. I never knew why they called him that, I just knew he was odd. In the middle of the night, I get up to use the bathroom, which was down the hall from the kitchen. As I'm walking past the kitchen, I see a white middle-aged woman sitting at the table drinking tea. But she had on a very elegant dress. She did not look human, just had human form and very pale, almost transparent. I was so scared but thought maybe I was just seeing things. So I walk back into my sleeping cousin's room, and to my surprise, he looks right at me and asks, "Did you see the white woman?" Keep in mind, my family is African American, and no one was there besides my immediate family and his. The next morning, I walk into the living room and told my mum, and her cousin said she'll need medicine next. Come to find out, my crazy cousin was put on medication because he saw the ghost all the time and would interact with her. Oh, your poor cousin. So that wasn't just like any ghost, it was somebody who's been kind of following your cousin around for a while. And no one believes him. Oh, bless him. Well, I hope you're both safe and well. Okay, so our next story is called The Ghost Between the Couches. So it's me and my two younger siblings were at my aunt's haunted house, waiting for my mum to come and pick us up. We were sitting in her living room, talking, when I started noticing what sounded like footsteps coming down the stairs. My aunt and I looked at each other, but didn't say anything. We didn't want to scare my younger siblings. As well as the footsteps, I was hearing a conversation between two people happening upstairs. I asked if it was her TV left on or a window open, and she said no. She had heard the footsteps, but nothing else. My next experience also happened in her living room. I was sitting on the couch with the red cushions, and my sister was on the other. We were on the ends near each other and both reading books on our phones. I started hearing my sister laughing and talking like a little girl. At the time, we were both teenagers. I said to her, "Would you stop talking like that?" She looked up at me and said, "You need to stop. Why are you laughing and talking like a little girl?" At the same moment, we realized that neither of us were making the noise, and it was coming from the space between the couches. We both just sat there for a moment, then went back to reading. A lot of people ask why we didn't get up, but I don't think either of us felt threatened or uncomfortable. We knew there was a little girl's spirit living at my aunt's, and it always felt like she just wanted to be friends. I don't know what it is about child spirits that just feel so, what's the word? Like haunting, like they're up to no good. Like they're like, planning on destroying your life. Would you guys rather have, right? It's a weird question. A ghost child in your house? Or a ghost adult? Okay, so our next story is called Death Date. I just want to add a bit more purple to the edges here. Oh, right. For many generations, all the women in my maternal grandmother's family die on August the 20th. I believe the count is up to 11 women with the same death date. When my grandmother was 17, she went to see a fortune teller on August the 13th to see if the curse was real or coincidence. The fortune teller told her that not only was it real, but that her mum would die within a week. That fortune teller's an asshole. You're not meant to tell people that. My great-grandmother did die 1 week later. My grandmother and her sister also passed on the 20th of August in varying years since. Every year on the inevitable August the 20th, my dad, mum, aunt, sister, husband and I take the 20th off work and stay indoors and regularly text other women in the family to make sure we're all safe and sound. What an asshole fortune teller. You're not meant to tell people when they're gonna die or if someone's gonna die. Here's a deep question for you all. If somebody was just like, listen, I can tell you the exact date and time you're gonna die, would you want to know? Or would you be like, okay, our next story is called Funny Story Though. Scaring my family in my sleep. I'm actually just using the brush here that comes with the palette. I was studying at uni in another city and invited my housemate to my parents' house back where I lived before. I remember we were lying in bed next to each other and the TV was on before I fell asleep. I woke up to my mum turning my lights on and my housemate looking scared. The next morning they said, "I saw that you had fallen asleep, so I turned the TV off. As soon as I did, you crawled to the corner of the bed and started screaming. I leaned over to you saying, "It's me, don't worry." After some time, my eyes got used to the dark and I noticed that while you were screaming, you were not looking at me, but behind me. Another story from my uni days. I was working in a cafe and the manager was nagging us to sell more iced tea because of the high stocks. That night, I was staying with my ex-boyfriend when he woke me up and said, "You were staring at the chair next to the bed." After a while, you turned to me and said, "The man on the seat wants iced tea." And then went back to sleep. You can do some crazy things when you sleepwalk. I think I've sleepwalked a few times before and kind of just done like, well, not normal stuff, but like done things that could usually wake you up and then just haven't woken up. You know what I'm gonna do? I know, guys, I know purple. I use purple. You know what? Life is... No, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. So our final story today. This is called Creepy Story. Oh, perfect. Hi Robert, just want to say first of all that you're amazing and I love watching your videos. This story isn't ghost story, but certainly weird. Perfect. Thank you so much, first of all. But guys, like I said, even if you haven't seen a ghost, even if you just have a creepy story, do let me know. I love to hear them. I was feeling a bit down with life and not really sure what direction I wanted to take. I had decided to read the book The Secret to see what all the fuss was about. Most probably know it, but for those who don't, it's a book about the law of attraction and the power of the universe. The belief is that you manifest what you'll receive. I didn't know what to make of the book after reading it, and one of the messages in the book said to test that it works by asking for a sign. So me and my partner went on a day out a few weeks later to the seaside, a place called Scarborough. Yes. And I was thinking about the book and wondering again if it was real. And I tested the waters and said in my head, "Show me proof." This particular day, it was a weekday and most of the people were at work and school, so it was really quiet. You've probably seen them, but at the seaside you often get those mechanical fortune tellers called Zoltar, like an arcade game. Yes, arcade, sorry, I don't know why I said that weird. You put your money in and it prints out a fortune. I like anything like that. So as we were walking, I thought this in my head, that I liked them and contemplated having a go, but didn't bother, as it was expensive for what it was. We continued walking, and as we got further down the seafront, there was another Zoltar, and it had a fortune sticking out of it. I'm just gonna take this colour as a blush right here. There were a few people around, and nobody near the Zoltar. And why would somebody pay the fortune and not collect it? You could only read it when you pulled it out of the machine, as it was facing the ground. So I picked it up. I'll attach a picture so you can see what it says. I was amazed and couldn't believe what had happened, and the fortune was very apt for what I was experiencing in my life and worrying about work, etc. I was also planning to go back to university in September, and feeling like I needed guidance to make sure I was making the right choice. I was telling a friend a few days later, and she said that I should put the lottery on with the lucky numbers it printed at the bottom. Again, I wanted to test the waters, so I did it. But I don't usually play. When I was doing the lottery, my gut instinct was to put it on for the 2 draws that happened, but last minute I did it for only the Wednesday. Wednesday came around and I didn't win anything. On the Saturday, the day of the next draw, I was minding my own business and watching the TV. I normally watch catch-up TV as I work long hours, so usually miss my shows when they're on. And I just so happened to be watching TV when the lottery numbers came on screen. I can't remember the last time I saw the numbers on TV, and I never have since. And lo and behold, the 4 numbers came up on my TV screen. I was kicking myself because I nearly put it on with 2 days, but faltered last second. And that's that. I've kept the fortune ticket and will keep it forever. The main lesson here is to always trust your gut instinct when it comes to decisions. I have sworn by manifestation ever since. Thanks, Robert. Beth. Oh, that's such a nice story. Oh, how annoying. You could have been a millionaire. Well, maybe not a millionaire. However much was on the lottery that day. So to finish up, I'm going to put on some lashes and one of these lip colours. I'm going to go for a gloss because, you know me, I don't really like lip product too much. They're all nice, actually. We'll go for this more neutral. All right, guys, so that is our finished look for today. I absolutely love this palette. It is so cute. I used one of the shadows, the one with a rose. I wish I never did that because the print was really cute, but the color's really nice. Got a bit of purple in there, so you know it's my thing. A little bit of pink. Such amazing color payoff. I absolutely love it. I'll link below. And let me just tell you, I've been obsessed with these bottom lashes ever since. I don't know if you've seen my video, and it was like Korean brands that you should know about. Pony Effect have these bottom lashes, and I'm gonna order more. And I've just been obsessed with adding them to the whole look because they add something really small. I think when you think of bottom lashes, you're like, oh, it's like doll like, but no, these are really really cute. I love it. I love this palette. Yeah, yeah. Nice, huh? Like I said, I will leave all the products in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. There were some good stories this week. I got chills. I felt my hair stand on end. I hate ghost children again. Life is good. I will see you Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and then Monday again, and then so on and so forth. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Have an amazing week. I'll see you soon. Bye.